evening, Bitcoiners. It is Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, tuning in from the United Kingdom. It is 6 p.m. or 1800 hours on the 8th of July 2021. As always, strong Bitcoin hand, people. That's the name of the game on this channel, to help you all build out that strong Bitcoin hand. Quick shout out to my good friend down in Australia who very kindly sent me this t-shirt, Bitcoin to the moon. I think that's quite apt, isn't it? How many of you are starting to think, my goodness, I'm fed up with this going sideways. Is it ever going to moon? Be patient, people. That's all I've got to say on the situation. Be patient. Rome was not built in a day. Okay, very, very quickly, let's get the preliminaries out of the way. Then I'll say hello to a few people that are in my chat. Okay, if you are finding my channel for the first time or in the future, you're not going to get financial advice from me. Simply read what's down below. I am just going live twice a week to share my thoughts on Bitcoin and find anything that I can help people to build their strong hand with. Do your own research. Check out my website, ukbitcoinmaster.com. That is where you're going to find every video I've done to date. And then bitcoininterviews.com is where you will find all of the interviews that I've done to date. If you didn't see the interview that I did last Saturday, or when I was interviewed by the Carbon, oh crikey, it's gone, sorry Josias, the Carbon Life Pods, then check it out, because I gave an honest and frank account of my life, what I did before Bitcoin, what I did, my business that I still have now. There are so many parallels to draw with Bitcoin. I thought it was a really, really great interview. So do go and check that out. And finally, I want you to help me out here, people. If any of you have got a Lightning wallet, I'm going to put this QR code up at the end, so don't worry. This is my new Moon, M-U-U-N, Moon Lightning wallet. And in all honesty, for me, it's fantastic. It's better than tipping.me. Anyone with a QR code reader or a Lightning wallet on their phone that's got a few sats in can simply scan this and send a few sats. Now, if any of you can help me out here, I use Wallet of Satoshi. And if any of you use it, I get an error every time I send some sats from Wallet of Satoshi to this address. Now, it says error sending, please try again. But when I go and check, the Satoshis are turning up in the Moon wallet using this QR code. So I'd be very interested to see if anyone else is getting that error message on Wallet of Satoshi, or in fact any other wallet. And I'm going to put this up each time because this is a great way for every one of us to start getting familiar with moving small Satoshis around. I sent this wallet 100 Satoshis the other day, and it was like 3 British pennies. So you can literally send pennies around to get familiar with using Lightning. So I'll put that up at the end of the show in case anybody wants to drop a Lightning tip or try that out. So over to the chat. Who have we got with us? Working from the top, Kristen coming in from Texas. Welcome, Kristen. Great to have you in the house. ESE. Ease or SA Fexer, welcome to the show. Michael Lilienfeld is in the house. Proud Zionist Jew has pounded the like button and retweeted this. Paul Potato, welcome to you, Paul. I hope I've said that right and not potato. Sorry, in the UK we say potato when we read that. Lance Huddle's in the house. My lovely wife Elaine is with us. Budge Dobnik, welcome to you, my good man. Let me know if you're going to make the meetup on the oh crikey, is it 17th? I believe it is that. I've sent the email out to the 21 Million Club meetup group. Barefoot Barry coming in from New Zealand. Barry, welcome to you yet again. Early morning for you over there. Bitcoin to the moon is in the house, man. I mean, I'm wearing the t-shirt, But say hi to Bitcoin to the Moon down in Australia, who's tuning in with us live. It is great to have you with us, dude. But for goodness sake, get some sleep, please. I'm only kidding. It's great to have you in the show. Ian Stewart's house is in the house. Welcome, Ian. Alexis Menard, welcome to you too. I think I've given everyone a shout out. Yeah, nice t-shirt, isn't it? Love it. Okay, so if you want a shout out, people, type in UK Bitcoin Master. Now, Dave Shackelford, welcome. Just spotted this. I've got to make an apology again before we get into the show. Again, a couple of you typed in UK Bitcoin Master on the last show, and I get so full of everything I'm trying to deal with here, I just didn't see them. So my apologies. I'm going to try and ensure that I do see them and answer them if you type in UK Bitcoin Master. I promise. But there's a lot going on behind that camera that you can't see. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 monitors on the go, and I'm trying to watch every single one of them. So great to have you all in the house. Let's get over to the desktop and see what's going on in the world of Bitcoin. As you can see, we are thereabouts at 33, 32, 34, and people are getting a little bit fed up with it. But again, Rome wasn't built in a day, people. And, you know, after following Willy Woo for a bit, what it's telling me is we have been in a capitulation, then a reaccumulation period. And whilst he's saying don't take everything he says as gospel, he's also intimating that we are coming to the end of the accumulation phase and there could well be a breakout. But again, none of us know that. So it's about buying your Bitcoin, storing it on your Trezor, and then getting on and enjoying your life. So not bothered about the price one iota for me. I'm just like to start the show off with what's going on with the price. Badge Dobnik says, of course I'm going to be at the 21 Million Club meetup. One of my highlights of the month. Thank you, man. Yeah, I really enjoy it too, if I'm absolutely honest. It's a great group of us that get together, and anyone can be part of that club. If you're a Bitcoiner only, if you support my show in the chat, even if you just say hi now and again, and if you don't use swear words, anyone can apply to be part of the 21 Million Club. You will find an email at the bottom of my show notes right now where you can reach out to me if you want the exact criteria to come and join that 21 Million Club. But it has grown over the last year, and we have some great conversations on there. We really do. So I found a few articles to talk about. Now, we always talk about the corrupt banks, don't we? And, you know, how the banks are manipulating us and, you know, da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And I've talked about this many times, but here we are again. You know, this flipping Jamie Dimon, you know, JP Morgan in America are so corrupt. It's unreal. I believe several months ago, I covered it on from Wall Street on Parade again. I covered where he'd been up on serious fraud charges, something like, or some charges like that, or JP Morgan had, and he's the head of JP Morgan, about 5 times in several years. And yet we trust our money with these banks. Here we are again. Court documents reveal that JP Morgan Chase was entangled in another giant Ponzi scheme at the same time it was propping up Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. So, you know, do we really want to any further in the future put our trust in the banks that want to rip us off, manipulate us and get wealthy, whilst the masses, the regular people like you and I, just get further and further in debt or never get ahead and, you know, can't make any money? No, let's get rid of these flipping charlatans and let's make Bitcoin the standard so that banks have to change and work around Bitcoin as opposed to them saying, no, we're not interested in Bitcoin. How many articles have we seen recently where, you know, 650 more banks are going to be allowed to have Bitcoin on their books or custody or allow people to buy Bitcoin, something of that nature. So they're just really corrupt. They really are. Here's what Willy Woo was saying earlier. Bitcoin analyst says supply shock underway as BTC withdrawal rate spikes to 1 year high. I think this was the Willy Woo one. Yeah, it was. So I highlighted it. I've got to look at the second monitor because my microphone stands right in the way of the main one over there. Willy Woo, an on-chain analyst, anticipates a potential supply shock in the Bitcoin market as long-term holders, hodlers, continued raking BTC supply from short-term holders. Wu stated in his Friday newsletter that the process might push more Bitcoin out of circulation. So we're hodling it. The analyst referred to the ratio of Bitcoin held by strong hands versus weak hands, also known as Bitcoin supply ratio, noting that the former is actively absorbing selling pressure from whales who've been dumping their crypto holdings since February. Now, I drilled down a bit on this, and he's talking about there's a lot of whales that have come in that are short-term speculator whales, i.e. they bought in like December, January, and they sold out at a profit in February. But that's all then moving across to hodlers who are starting to hold offline. And of course, we've got this shift taking place, which is probably why, from what I can gather, we're seeing the sideways motion as we reaccumulate people. So hang on in there. Keep stacking Satoshis on sale. That's the only thing I can say, because right now Bitcoin really is on sale. Yeah, thank you. What else? Sorry, I thought I saw something in the chat there. If you want to get my attention, type in UK Bitcoin Master. Bitcoin mayor candidate Eric Adams wins New York's Democratic primary. Now, this is a guy that was saying he was going to make Bitcoin, I believe, the epicenter, or New York the epicenter of crypto. Eric Adams, who previously promised to make New York City a center of Bitcoin, has won the city's Democratic mayoral primary. He has some stiff competition from Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, however, who wants Miami to be America's crypto hub. What do I draw from this? I draw from this that the dominoes are starting to fall. One by one, more and more state senators, congressmen, whatever, are going to capture this vision of where Bitcoin's going. And it's just literally moving from one group to the next group, the old dinosaurs, the financial markets, to this new world of digital currencies, Bitcoin, etc. So, for me, I take a wider zoom of all of this and think, bit by bit, people, this is starting to play out. It isn't going to rush because you or I want it to rush. It is going to play out, but I really do think Willy Woo is right in that we're in this accumulation phase, and he feels that we're drawing close to the end of that accumulation phase, and there might be a breakout. I am not saying there's going to be a breakout. I am simply saying what I read from Willy Woo's newsletter recently. Rocky Palumbo's in the house. Rocky, good to have you with us, dude. Really good to have you in the house. Okay, 82% of institutional investors to increase their crypto exposure by 2023, a survey said. So, is that a signal that Bitcoin and cryptos are dying? Or is it a signal that behind the scenes more and more is going on? And that's why my heading on this particular scene says building strong Bitcoin hands, because this is a strong Bitcoin hand show. And get in there, Bitcoin. You need to have some patience. You need to buy it while it's on sale. Stack those sats, because when it goes up again, you'll never get them so cheap. That's my take on all of it. Okay, Bitcoin Magazine. World famous hotel chain Pavilion's hotels and resorts to accept Bitcoin payments. How much more do I need to throw at you if you are not yet a strong hand? Because all of this says, for goodness sake, get into the Bitcoin overlay, people, and start stacking those Satoshis. I'm mindful of not missing anybody out in the chat, so let me have a quick look. That was me. I've talked Dave Shackelford. Yeah, I've said hello from Dave. Badge, yep, I read your one out as well. Okay, I've missed no one. I'm doing my best to try and stay. Have you ever heard the story of this swan? On the surface, it is graceful going across the lake, but underneath, it is pedaling like the clappers. And I'm trying to be graceful and deliver my show whilst pedaling like the clappers under the surface to make sure that I don't hit the wrong button or miss anyone talking in the chat. So what else? Allied Payment Partners NYDIG adds Bitcoin to corporate treasury. Allied Payments Partners NYDIG adds Bitcoin to corporate treasury. This might have been an older one, perhaps. I'm not sure. But I think I saw something. Yeah, Pomp said breaking. Allied Payment Network, a digital payment provider, has announced they will put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I love this 3 words. Bitcoin is inevitable. I mean, I could literally open my show, do all my welcome spiel and say, people, Bitcoin is inevitable. That's my show for today. And that would really encapsulate how I feel. But of course, it ain't happening overnight. So you've got to learn a little bit of patience, low time preference, zoom out, treat it like a savings plan and add to it as much as you can. El Salvador's Bitcoin mine could earn over 20,000 Bitcoin or $750 million a year. What the hell do you think that will do to their economy? This is mind-blowing that it could add over 20,000 BTC somehow into their economy or their reserve that they're putting it in or whatever it is. And this is a big deal. And I was actually on that Twitter, it's not Squares called, what is it? That's something that's rivaling, it doesn't matter. There's a talk thing. I can't remember what it is now. Spaces. I was on there when whoever it was mentioned to the President Bukele's assistant, have you ever thought of using, the volcanic energy to mine Bitcoin? And this is a big deal. But again, this takes weeks and months sometimes to play out. But I think, again, I'm coming from a perspective of everything is right. Everything is well. And my hashtag really, I don't really fully understand hashtags, is hashtag price is a liar. I love that one because what you're seeing in terms of the price is not what Bitcoin's value is right now. And it certainly isn't what its value is going to be in the future for sure. And then I found this one. There's some guy who's a Bitcoin billionaire, 41 years of age, who's actually drowned. And there's all this, talk around, what about his Bitcoin? Has anybody's got his keys? Has he gone over the side of the boat, so to speak? We hear this. I've had a boating accident. There was talk that, he's faked his own death. Maybe he's become a bit of a target because he's put himself out there. It says a Romanian Bitcoin billionaire who died suddenly at the age of 41 has left behind more questions than answers. I thought I highlighted something, but it must have disappeared. A 41-year-old Mircea Popescu, an outspoken figure and an early adopter of Bitcoin, left behind an estimated 2 billion in Bitcoin after reportedly drowning off the coast of Costa Rica near Playa Hermosa, according to local news reports, which said that he was swept away by the current and died on the spot. So we don't know, but the point is, how many more people, when they understand what their net worth is or is going to be, maybe thinking, how the hell do I get myself out of the public eye? So then sometimes you point the finger back at yourself, UK Bitcoin Master, saying, well, you're in the public eye doing what you're doing. But at this stage, I am A lot older than this dude, and B, I am certainly not a Bitcoin billionaire. So, but again, I believe in a cause and you've got to do what you've got to do to help the cause. So to summarize here on this part, everything is pointing to the fact that we are all in the right place at the right time. And all we've got to do is make sure that we've got skin in the game and we stack those Satoshis. Bitcoin to the moon, price tag price is a liar. Hashtag Brian is on fire. Love it. Get it trending, people. Maybe we can get some numbers up to find this show. I don't know how it all works. I'm still an OG that don't understand all this technical stuff like you do. BTTM, bless you. Okay, quick shill on this book. I love the book, Matthew Underhill's The Bitcoin Book. A really great book for beginners. It is worth checking out if you want to read a book that's an easy read for novices. It's a great book to give away as gifts, birthdays, etc. I won't say Christmas because my lovely wife says, do you need to keep using the Christmas word when we're miles away from it and yet it's galloping towards us? But there you go. I just used it. So check it out on Amazon. Really is a great book. I read it twice off the bat in a week. Really, really good book. Okay, found some great tweets. Heidi Blockchain Chick always tweets some good stuff out, actually. By buying Bitcoin, you are participating in a global protest against state-controlled currency pyramid schemes in a way that politicians cannot ignore, since money is the only voting system in which your voice cannot be muted. I mean, that's quite profound if you think about it. You know, this is a silent revolution. This is a peaceful revolution. This is a revolution without the need for guns. But it's playing out day to day at its own speed. And we are not going to speed up the revolution. We just need to be part of that silent, no guns revolution that is slowly unfolding. And people, you want to be dead proud that you are living at this moment in time through this most incredible shift in money from one group to another, which I'm really proud to be part of, I have to say. Bitcoin Gandalf says, on the Barclays Binance situation, Barclays is one of the largest banks in the UK. It says it's their money and they can pretty much do whatever they want with it. But Bitcoin fixes this. And there's another tweet coming up. I didn't realize these were linked, but there's another one coming up shortly about Barclays again. Armin the Parman, I just don't see it happening, close quotes, is not a valid argument against Bitcoin becoming world money. Learn more. So when somebody says, well, I just don't see it happening, you want to have the guts, you want to have the balls to turn around and say, that is not a valid argument. You need to do some research to understand why we believe what we believe. And again, one person at a time, you might have to speak to 10, 15, 20, 100, 1,000 people for one to go down the rabbit hole. Interestingly enough, I was having a chat with Gary, the guy that my friend that called Elaine and I 4 years ago now. And he was saying, he said, Brian, he said, I reached out to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in 2017, including yourself. He said, and pretty well all of them ignored me, thought I'd gone nuts. He said, and you were the only one that took me seriously and got in the rabbit hole. So as a classic example of how do we change the world, one person at a time, but we'll have to kiss a load of frogs before we find that prince who is going to, I won't say come on board, but, you know, they're going to take you as serious. They're going to listen to you. They're going to go and do some research. And then ultimately they are going to thank you. Time to catch some Zeds, said Bitcoin to the moon. Well, it's great to have you in the house, my good man, but go and get some sleep. It is the middle of the night down there. I think it must be about 3:25 a.m. down there. I know Barefoot Barry's with us, and I think it's even earlier for Barry, or is it later? I get it mixed up. New Zealand, Australia. I really don't know. It hurts my head. But Bitcoin to the moon. Go to bed, my good friend. Thanks for being with us. What else? Here's the other one. Last Coin Standing said, I'm not a fan of Binance, but bleep dollars and Barclays. Imagine having the audacity to restrict their customers' money. This is why we Bitcoin. And that was off the back of Barclays' message that said, as you've made a payment to Binance this year, if you're not aware of it, Binance has been kicked out of the UK. Binance Trading, that is, has been kicked out of the UK. As you've made a payment to Binance this year, we wanted to let you know that we're stopping payments made by credit debit card to them until further notice. This is to help you keep your money safe. Oh, my Lord. My Bill 66, welcome. Great to have you in the house. We're pretty well getting close to the end of the show, but it is great to have you with us, Bill. Go back to the start, 1.5, 1.7, 2x, and listen to the whole show. I think there's some good information today. So, again, who are they to tell us what we should do with our money? You know, they just custody it. And yet they control what we can and can't do with our money. And they can 5:24 a.m. in New Zealand. Oh, my Lord. What's the matter with you people? I love Bitcoin, but not that much. My sleep is important to me. So the beautiful thing about why he say this is why we Bitcoin is because nobody can stop you. You could literally, when I put my QR code back up in a minute, you could literally hold your phone, get that QR code, and you could send me some Satoshis from the other side of the world, and it'll hit my Moon wallet in seconds. Try it out when we get to the end of the show and I put that QR code up. I know we were on a 21 million meetup. The last one we had, we got one coming up on the 17th, I believe. And I think it was Rocky who sent some Satoshis all the way from California right over the pond and to an oil rig 150 miles off of the north tip of Scotland. And I believe that might have been to Ian, who's in the chat. I believe it was you, Ian, wasn't it? I mean, there was no one stopping it, nobody asking why he's sending it over there. That is the freedom, people, that Bitcoin gives us. It really is. And then this one. And I want you to think about this in terms of vision. Didi from the Bitcoin family, he's been on my show. I've interviewed Didi. Check out my interview with Didi on bitcoininterviews.com. You should always believe the mass media. Ha, ha, ha. Check out this article from 2000. Reading this makes me even more bullish. When the Daily Mail on December the 5th, 2000, it said, the internet may be just a passing fad, as millions give up on it. So let's bring that to 2021. Bitcoin could be a passing fad. It's going sideways. It's going nowhere. It's probably going to go to zero as millions give up on it. Don't you dare give up on it, people, because I'm telling you now, Bitcoin is going to adopt and its curve is going to go up, in my opinion, way quicker than the internet because it runs on the internet. The internet is already built out. The rails are already there. We live by the internet. We can't function without the internet. And I think, you know, in a few short years, we are going to be absolutely blown away with what happens in the Bitcoin space. I don't care about all the other coins that are out there. I don't care about DeFi. I don't care about this so-called Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. I will still hold my Bitcoin no matter what happens. I am a Bitcoiner. I believe Bitcoin is the one shot we've got of sound, hard money for the future of mankind. Nothing else offers that. So no matter what they talk about, what's growing quicker than Bitcoin, I don't care. So, you know, if you are interested in the other coins and that upsets you that I say that, go and find another YouTube channel to listen to, because I put this together purely to talk to people about my passion and belief for Bitcoin. Very, very quickly, and we'll pull it together, and I'm going to put that QR code up again. I love this quote. The greatest use of a life is to spend it on something that will outlast it. What better way to put your time into something you can build for generations of your family to come that will outlive you? To do something in the Bitcoin space where you can play a really small part in making the world a better place. And I'm going to ignore Michael's 3-letter word that he's just put there, swearing at me. Michael, I won't respond to it. So, people, that is your Bitcoin show for today, the 8th of July, 2021. Please tweet this out. Please share it where you're watching it. If you're on the podcast, ukbitcoinmasterpodcast.com, share it out there. You can't share out this QR code. This is the QR code for my Moon wallet. Now, what I'm looking to do is to keep putting the same QR code up and see if it remains live, because the tipping.me one dies over time, and you've got to go in and you've got to get a new QR code. So I'm going to keep putting this up and see if somebody sends me 10 Satoshis, 100 Satoshis. And for those joining late, if you do have a Lightning wallet on your phone, use this QR code. With my Rocky, I'm hoping you're still in the house. With my wallet of Satoshi, when I scan this QR code and send a few hundred Satoshis, it sends them, but I get an error message on wallets of Satoshi saying sending failed every single time. And yet it still sends the sats to my Moon wallet. So I guess I don't want tips, don't need tips. But if anybody wants to send 5 cents, 10 cents, $1, a pound, a few hundred, a few thousand sats, try it out, people. And it'd be interesting to see if it's working for you guys and whether you get the error as well. So I'm going to remove it now. That is your UK Bitcoin Master Show for today. I'll be back on Monday, as always, at 6 p.m. London. If you're interested in finding out how you can become part of our 21 million club, do reach out to me via email. Barry says invoice expired. This is the same one, Barry, I used yesterday, and I've used it and tried it again 24 hours later. So I'll try it again, and I'm playing around, Barry. I want us all to get familiar with Lightning. We should all be playing around. Who's got an issue with sending 5 or 10 cents to someone else? Even if you mess it up and you lose it, it's 5 or 10 cents. But we should all be getting familiar with moving Satoshis around. So thank you, Barry. I will test that out as well for my own benefit. But if anybody wants to drop some sats, go back on catch up, pause it, and then you can scan the QR code. I'm out of here, peeps. Have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. Get in there, England football team. It's taken 55 years to get in the final of a major tournament, but we've done it. I was 7 years old when it last happened in 1966, and I sure as hell on Sunday will be watching to see if we can beat the most incredible Italian soccer team. Catch you all on Monday, people, hopefully with a great big grin on my face. I'm out of here. Cheerio.